What to do when your insert goes down. Yeah, a bit of technical speak on today's episode of Get a Better Broadcast Podcast and Voice Over Voice. Hello, I'm Peter Stewart with all sorts of advice over a whole series of episodes every single day for months and months and months to help you with your broadcasting career. Whichever you are, in front of the mic, behind the mic, whether you're a producer or whether you're a presenter, whether you're in broadcast or podcasts or voiceovers or any other part of your business or hobby where you're using your mic to make your money, I'm here for you. When your insert goes down, in a radio, or we're talking about mistakes, about hitches, glitches and cock-ups in a radio or broadcast or voiceover studio. Confusing the audience with technical jargon can compound a problem. You know, I said a couple of days ago, explain to people when something goes wrong. Explain to them what has happened and what you're waiting for or why there's a problem. And then they're likely to be more understanding. It's very often the situation in life, isn't it? If you're standing on a train platform and the train's not coming and not coming and not coming, and you're wondering why, if you're kept in the dark, you're none the wiser. You're likely to get more and more frustrated. But if somebody tells you, actually someone's been taken a little bit unwell, or actually we have an incident on the line further down the track, actually there's been an incident at level crossing, where the gates didn't close properly or something like that, you're more understanding because you're more in control of the situation with the information that you've been given. However, you're not in control of the situation if the information you've been given is confusing and you don't understand it. So in a broadcast studio situation, if you say, I'm sorry, but that insert has gone down, maybe a little bit confusing for most people out there. Or here's another one. We don't seem to have that package. Well, a package to most people is what you get in the post from Amazon or from an online food delivery business. So practice what you're going to say when something goes wrong until it becomes almost a reflex action, so you've got it front of mind when it does. And when that report does eventually arrive, the audience will have forgotten what it's about, and obviously then you've got to reintroduce it by rereading or paraphrasing the cue. Now, where you stumble over a word or a phrase, judge quickly whether or not in a live situation you actually need to repeat it. I mean, if the sentence of the item has been lost by saying, for instance, Beecham pleaded guilty to the murder, when actually he pleaded not guilty, then obviously you need to repeat the sentence correctly. Try and avoid the cliché, I'm sorry, I'll read that again, just say, I'm sorry, that's usually just absolutely fine. And if the mistake's a minor one, just a slight verbal trip, you've probably heard me do a few slight verbal trips during the course of these podcast episodes, just let it go. It sounds more authentic, much more relatable, and the chances are that the audience quickly forgets. If you draw attention to it with an apology and going back, could just make things worse. And it draws attention to it in a live situation. In a recorded situation, of course, you can go back and do that sentence again, if necessary. So think what you can do so you're not in the situation again. So if it does happen once, think how you coped with it, what you said, how you got out of it. How can you avoid getting into that situation again? And of course, a lot of this comes down to things we've spoken about before, things like preparation and double-checking scripts and tech. Rehearse the words. Be comfortable with the read and the room, the script and the studio. Relaxation and breathing exercises to calm you down so you can think clearly in a live studio situation. All of those things will help you avoid a slip or a trip in the first place, and cope with a glitch or a hitch if it happens to you. Tomorrow, what happens if something goes wrong in a studio, you find it amusing, and you end up laughing your proverbial head off? We'll cope with corpsing tomorrow as Get a Better Broadcast Podcast and Voice Over Voice continues. From London, I'm Peter Stewart.